To answer your question, I'll probably have to answer it in two parts. First, I did almost die as a child. I was a child of about 7 or 8 when I almost died, and I believe I was saved by a dream. And I think this dream was sent down to me by him because he wanted me to live, and he wanted me to know that I had more to do in life. I'd always had very vivid dreams as a child, and I do remember that night when I went to bed and I put my head to rest on the pillow, and I fell immediately asleep and immediately into this dream. And in this dream, I felt like I was flying. My eyes were open and I was flying through this great, vast, open sky. And it was so serene. It was so beautiful. And then in the distance, I started to notice something. So I flew faster to get closer to it. And I discovered that they were buildings. But all of a sudden, I had this horrible realization that I wasn't flying, I was falling. And I started to scream, and as I was starting to scream, this big gray building came up with this tall spear-like spike, and it pierced my neck. And I was terrified. I could feel it, and I was screaming, and I woke up. And it was just a dream. It was a nightmare, really. And the next day, I was out just playing behind the house in the pond and just splashing and playing around. And I had on some old sneakers and climbed up on some mossy rocks, and I slipped and fell into the water. Well, that's nothing to be afraid of. I was just splashing in the water. But suddenly, I had this flashback to the dream from the night before, and I turned my neck. And as I turned my neck, I felt something scratch it. And I realized there was a tall metal rod sticking up, that if I had not turned my neck because of the dream, that rod would have pierced my neck and I would have been gone. And so I do believe that that dream was sent to me by him. And that's the answer to the first part of the question. In answer to the second part of the question, my belief in our source was fundamentally impacted. Because